are.
No, bro. Hey, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Quest Podcast. I'm your host for the night, Remix Essence, and let's go ahead and get on into things. Starting off with our special guest this week, Vogelzkrieg. How are you doing, man? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Pretty excited about being on here. I've been watching you guys for several weeks now, and it's always been a great podcast every time I watch every Thursday night. So I was, pretty excited and surprised when Dark Dark DM'd me uh, Saturday night and asked me if I'd be on, and I was like, well, hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Always like bringing on new people. So, yeah, excited to have you on the show as well. So, getting on into our normal panel for the week, let's go ahead and Audimus, how you doing, man?
What's up, dude? I'm good, man. I'm just chilling, working a lot, and I've been able to play a lot of video games. But hopefully, maybe this weekend I can get into some stuff.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Leo, man, how have you been doing this week, man?
I was out there chasing those Chivos and shit. I got a little worried that Dark Audimus was gonna pass me up, but now I'm 1,700 ahead of him. I guess he gave up. So anyway,
dude, I gave up a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm just here ready to talk some shit, so I'm ready for the show.
For sure. And M Baines, what you doing, man? How you doing? If M Baines is even here, he does have a muted mic. We'll go ahead and move on. All right. Hey, so starting off with the
my bad.
All right,
oh, there he is.
Baines, introduce yourself, man.
Yeah, M Baines 99 here. I was on mute, as usual. Glad to get into these topics, man, and glad to have Vogel on.
Definitely.
Thanks.
All right, so as always, we'll go ahead and get into what we've been playing throughout this week. So Vogel, man, what have you been playing?
Well, besides PUBG, of course, I've been playing Evil Within 2. Of course, that's my 2017 Game of the Year.
Nice.
Yeah, I love Silent Hill, so any game that's anything remotely close to that gets my attention. And this game, the first one I got because it reminded me of Silent Hill, I played the first few chapters, and I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. It was just, I don't know, controls, or I just couldn't get into it, and so I just stopped playing it. I haven't played it since.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up winning Evil Within 2 thanks to Dealer Gaming, and
Nice.
started playing that, and it's caught me, and it just won't let go, just like PUBG. And then after last night, early this morning, getting my first chicken dinner, I'm hook, line, and sinker now. As soon as I get off this, I'll probably be hopping on that.
Nice. Yeah, PUBG is a great game. All right, Baines, what have you been playing this week?
A little bit of PUBG, and then I played. I've started Death of the Outsider DLC from Dishonored 2.
Oh,
So I'm
cool.
playing through that now. Yeah, that's about it.
Nice. How you liking that so far?
It's pretty good, man. It's more Dishonored, but I mean, I love that game, so I mean, it's pretty good.
Cool. Optimus, what have you been playing this week?
Oh, dude, I haven't been playing really much, dude. I got to finish Hitman, and that was about it. Yeah, hopefully this weekend I can get into some gaming, but who knows?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, and Leo, man, what have you been playing this week?
I played a few games were on sale on the gold games of gold, some little crappy games, but Chivos, how I do. And then I was playing that zombie game, and that was pretty fun. A little bit of Rainbow Six. I finished the remake of Arkham Asylum, and then I just downloaded Warframe, so I'm gonna check that out. I heard lots of hype, and I've been burnt by Destiny, as many people are, and people say Warframe is what Destiny wishes it could be, so I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, for sure. As for myself, I've been playing a little bit of PUBG and a lot of Rainbow Six Siege as of late. So that game, just getting back into that, I was like, it's my most played game of 2017, actually. So I was like, might as well, hop back in there and see what all the updates are now. So it's been going smooth it's a great game. So, anyways, going on into the regular topics for the night, we'll start off with PUBG. Man, it hit a milestone on Xbox of 4 million players as kind of award to players for promoting this game and buying it. They're giving away 30,000 BP for cosmetic crates in the game, and that'll be given to you if you have bought the game before January 31st. So there's still time to get in on that if you want. But what do you guys think about this PUBG?
Honestly, that's a lot of BP, man. That 30,000.
Yeah, it does
Yeah.
go.
It's gonna go a long way.
How many crates do you get with it?
I don't even know, man. I think
because the amount that it takes to buy doubles every time.
Yeah,
that's true. It does
So your
double.
best bet is just to buy one a day. You go on and play. That's the best way to
That's
use
true. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this whole thing. I mean, congratulations to PlayerUnknown. Battlegrounds. For hitting that milestone of 4 million. Man, that's crazy. Xbox is doing well with that game. Hopefully we continue to see these kind of numbers and keep continuing to see it rise in the ranks. Them actually giving out that kind of little gift is very generous of Microsoft to do that. It goes to show you that they're really thinking about the consumer at this point in time. It's really nice to see that the companies are actually doing something like this.
Yeah,
Sure.
I was surprised when I seen that they were given 30,000 credits. It was like I've never seen or had any company like that like say, "Oh, the game's doing such a success. Let's reward all the players with all these free credits." And it's really good that Microsoft's doing stuff like this because all these people that want to say things bad about Microsoft and Microsoft this, Microsoft that. Well, I don't hear Sony or Nintendo doing anything like this. So, what do you guys say now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice, just for playing a game that you like, getting a little reward because you're a supporter of it. So, really cool of Xbox. I think it's also probably, the game's been having some issues, so they're rewarding you a little bit because they're like, don't worry, we're going to fix that. But here's some points in the meantime.
Right.
So, yeah, what about Baines? Leo, what are you guys' thoughts?
Hey, you got 4 million, in less than 2 months? I mean, a lot of times it only takes one, man. You get one big hit, and that can really propel your platform. And Xbox, they knew this was going to be a hit. That's why they wanted to get it. And the game deserves it. It did 20-something mil on PC by itself. So, I mean, I expect it to hit 5, 6, 7 mil on Xbox. And this was just a good pickup by him, man.
Leo, what about you? What do you think?
I'll be interested to see if this is just a fad, if this game is really gonna keep going like this. Right now, it's surviving on hype. I mean, it had all this crazy amount of hype coming into it, so everyone wanted to check it out. And it is a fun game. A lot of people like it, but right now there's no other games out. Nothing else has come out in a few months. It's kind of a dry spell of games, so people have nothing to play. So I'm not saying that PUBG is gonna disappear, but once some other big name games come out, will these numbers like drop off really hard when the next Call of Duty comes out? Will these numbers fucking disappear? Everybody goes over to Call of Duty, you know what I mean? So I'm interested to see what will happen in the long term.
Yeah,
That's the thing. I think you have a good point there, and I think it probably will happen. I mean, every game has a fluctuation of players who are playing. Especially even Call of Duty has it. A lot of people say, yeah, there's a lot of people who play Call of Duty, but there are a lot of people who drop off every year. Who don't play it. I think for kind of like a small game like this that has hit a really good stride this past year, it's good to see them doing something like that. But I think we'll see. We'll see if it drops off, man. I mean, it's gonna be if PUBG is gonna continue to have this rise in player base, or is it gonna fall off, and people are going to go
And
play something
PUBG is
else.
going to be like this for a while, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Dude.
Oh my God,
Sorry,
dude!
guys.
Who comes
Hello,
in through the back door like that? Come on, dude.
What's going on, people?
Jeez.
Yeah. I was working on my gameplay and stuff. I wasn't really doing too much. I was on the computer. I was like, man, I'm feeling a little Quest tonight. You know, with Sea of Thieves and everything. I'm like, man, I really feel that Quest vibe. So, I figure I'd come in through the back door, see what's going on with everybody.
Nice.
Yeah, man, for sure.
So let me ask you guys, with other games that are going to be adding battle royale modes to their games or new games coming out, as well as Fortnite on console, how much of an effect do you think that'll have on PUBG's success? Because like here around the college campus, everybody knows what Fortnite is. People are like having Fortnite parties and like playing.
That's
like,
because
their whole
college
hall
kids
is
are
playing.
broke, man. That's why.
Well, yeah, it's free. Exactly, it's free. But like, not many people know what PUBG are. So, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, just think about how many of the copycats affected Overwatch.
Yeah.
I can give you an answer right there. I think this game has longevity, man. It'll be around for a
But
while.
Fortnite has proven to be a success.
Yeah, but it hasn't taken anything away from PUBG. So, I mean, but that's why I
Yeah,
said that's
do you
your
think?
answer right there. The
See,
game's got living. The game's got life. It's gonna be around for a while.
Yeah, someone in the chat there, Chicken Musketti, mentioned that he thinks that it's going to be just like GTA 5, Overwatch, Legends of League of Legends, Minecraft. This game's going to, be big for years and years to come.
He's got to think they're adding maps. As long as they keep adding new content, then that'll breathe new life into the game every so often. There's still another map that we haven't even got on Xbox yet.
Oh, the desert map. The desert
Yep.
map.
Right.
Then they got a zombie mode that they're working on. They're also working on. They're trying to find a way to do a night map where people just don't bump up their TVs to be able to see and stuff like that. Plus, they're also working on a snow map as well. So they do have content coming. But as far as like the competition, if you think about it, I've been one of the people that's been saying that for Bluehole themselves, they should stay on Xbox and not go multi-plat. And some people call me crazy about this, and I'm like, well, if you think about it. You have all these bigger developers, bigger publishers putting these game modes, the battle royale game modes, into their games. Eventually, they're going to drown this indie studio out. Is what they're going to do. Where if they stay at home, they can be developed and kind of have that personality of an Xbox game, which Xbox gamers will stay active on longer. That's what I think they should do. Are they going to do it? Probably not. They're probably going to go multi-plat, and then eventually they're going to get drowned out, guys, because there's developers out there that really know how to develop on console. They know how to, get the frame rates right, get everything, in tune with a console, where Bluehole, they don't really know how to do that, and they're just kind of learning now, Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting when the Ghost Recon Wildlands gets their, Battle Royale mode and see, what they do.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of their biggest competitors, because the game actually did decent. It did pretty well. A lot of people have it. So the mode people are going to naturally,
I was going to say, as long as it's in game preview, though, and it's on Xbox and console, there's going to be a really big kind of like active user base, active player base. It's not until it gets out of game preview and if they decide to go multi-plat, because I feel like it has a crowd now that even when Ghost Recon Wildlands comes out with their mode, other developers decide that they're going to put it in their games. I mean, it's holding its own against Fortnite, and Fortnite's free, and it's made by Epic Games. So it's holding its own there, and I think that's because it's only on Xbox and PC.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Any other thoughts on PUBG as a whole, guys?
No, man.
Nope. All right, well, then we'll move right on along to Anthem.
That was the only big news. Nothing left, guys. It's slow week.
So, moving on to Anthem, was delayed until 2019. So, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Personally, I think It's probably because of Mass Effect's failure, as well as they will probably have some kind of loot box system in this game. And so, after EA and Star Wars, they want to take time from that as well. And also the Destiny community probably has some expectations of Anthem as well, because, everybody's looking for that Destiny experience that they thought Destiny would bring, right? So what do you guys
people don't even know about a Destiny experience, man. Let's be honest.
A loot box system, as long as it's basically cosmetic, is not that bad. I think what's pushing Anthem back is that I believe they had the same loot box system that Star Wars Battlefront had, a loot box system that was interlinked with progression. And that's probably what's pushing them back. That's probably what's scaring them, because this is a big project for BioWare. It's make or break for them on this project. So I think they had something like that.
Well, it's a brand new IP for them, and they just completely built this game from the ground up. So they're probably having issues with it. They never made any kind of game like this, especially with EA pushing the games as a service. I mean, if you read about, they got Dragon Age, they're turning that into like a live experience, whatever the fuck that means. And I think EA's pushing them down a bad path, but I'm hoping that BioWare, with an extra year of development, can make this game have a good base. And then maybe if EA wants to throw in some extra bullshit like they did with Battlefront, we can fucking boycott and fucking cry a little bit and make sure that shit goes away. And then we'll be left with a good game and BioWare being strong again is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, and that's what I think. Anthem being delayed to 2019 is a smart move on BioWare's part, because of the fact that they see they read the comments, they see the news, they see what's going on with the EA, and their publishing team over there, and it's like they have to come up with some way to kind of weed out all those crazy loot boxes. Shut up, bot.
You keep him tight in the corner.
I think Anthem has a lot of potential to be a really good this co-op game with your friends.
You don't even know what it is, man. What are you talking about, Otter?
It has potential.
But yeah, so the article I was gonna say, I can't remember who the article was written by, but it was an interview with some of the devs of BioWare, and the basic reason for it being pushed back was they just want to ensure its success. The game for development time alone doesn't need more development, just probably polishing, making sure possibly the loot box system was integral, such as Star Wars.
You're gonna love winning.
Oh, geez.
I don't know. Maybe I want something else. We eat McDonald's until we come to an agreement.
See, guys, but you talked about the article, but you didn't say what they said about the engine that they're using. They're using the Frostbite engine. They said they have had a hell of a time. They even had it with Dragon Age Inquisition. They had a hell of a time. Pushed them back in scheduling to the point where they are calling on other developers, under the EA umbrella to come in and help out. They said it has been helping out. I think people are kind of trying to read the tea leaves a little too much because of EA, loot boxes, Battlefront 2, all that good stuff. Us as YouTubers, as gamers, we have a habit of looking at doom and gloom type scenarios. But what if it's exactly what they're saying? Like they're having an incredibly hard time with this engine doing what they want to do. They finally got developers from other studios to come over and help out that are underneath the EA umbrella, and it pushed them back a little bit. I mean, 2019 before March doesn't sound like that far of a kind of like pushback, in my opinion. But
no, I don't think so either.
Everybody, as soon as you hear EA, they say loot boxes, man.
But since it's not that far of a pushback, that leads me to believe that the game is mostly done, that they're trying to fix the loot box system. That gives even more credence to what I'm saying. They have the game done. They just have a big problem, and they went back to the table and they said, "Hey, look, we had a big fiasco with Battlefront 2. I think we may want to rejig or redo this.
I like that rejig. I like rejig, man. Keep that.
Rejig this loot box system." you know? And so that's what only pushed it back just a little bit, because that game, when they first announced it, they said it was coming out this year.
Yeah,
So,
the article that we read said they starting production in 2012. So they've been working on this game for almost 6 years.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a development issue.
Yeah.
I think it's a loot box issue. I think they're scared and they want to make sure the game is successful.
All right,
including BioWare, because their last project, even though it was one of their offshoot studios, didn't come off that well. So
I can play Doom and Gloom too, guys. I can play Doom and Gloom. I can play Chicken Little right now, but I can go in a different direction than you guys. You saw what happened with Destiny 2. Now, I know people have a problem with Eververse. They've said this time and time again, but it's not just Eververse. They talk about the repetition with the strikes, not getting drops, strike specific drops and stuff like that. So it could also be that they could have been setting up in such a way that it's like, oh my goodness, we are kind of mirroring what they did wrong in Destiny 2, and they have to go back and they have to change something on the infrastructure. I just feel like loot boxes are easy. They're easy to kind of lean on and say, this is why, and that's why. And, my mom divorced my dad because of loot boxes, and my dog ran away because of loot boxes.
Here's the thing, dude. I think it's really, it could be all three of those things. It could be the loot boxes. It could be the Frostbite engine. It could be the other thing. It's like them pushing it back to 2019 is probably a good idea because of the fact that Mass Effect Andromeda didn't do so well. I think they knew that, and they found and they're like, well, our B team was doing it, but it's like it's still part of us. It's still BioWare. And I think they need to build their name back, and I think they're going to try to do that with Anthem. And
I'm excited for it, man, to be really honest with you. When the game does drop, I will be in line to pick it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
they'll
succeed.
I don't think
if they.
I don't think it's any one particular thing, that's holding it back, or if there is anything really holding it back. I think the main reason that it was pushed back is because Mass Effect was a failure, and the other reasons I stated earlier, such as expectations from a community such as Destiny, and that they just want to ensure its success, and so they push it back a few months.
Right, exactly. And when you start dabbling in this type of game, you got to remember these gamers are very finicky. Dude, you can do one little thing, have one little hair wrong on a character, and it's like an atom bomb went off on social media. So like they're going into a place that can be incredibly lucrative, but also incredibly picky as well. So they gotta make sure they come out with something perfect, man.
Yeah. Well, those facial animations better be on point, because they were going for that. Like they obviously made an emphasis in their original trailer to
just from that trailer, it wasn't bad. But I mean, of course,
but they have to make everything. They have to make every character
exactly
look
right.
So because of how finicky fans are. So
fans
anyways,
are very finicky.
Moving on. So this month's February's months of Xbox games with gold. I'll just list them off real quick. Shadow Warrior, Assassin's Creed Chronicles India on the Xbox, and then 360 and back of that we have Split Trigger and Crazy Taxi. So
Split Second.
All right. What's the next
Split Second. Sorry, I can't read my handwriting.
I mean, it's a good month. I mean, you got Shadow Warrior, you got the Chronicles India. You got, from the 360, you have, it's basically like the article said, it's like a stealth or assassin and car month. So,
because definitely put those two together.
I mean, well, that's what the article said. So, I mean, it seems like it'll be a good month. I mean, I haven't played Split Second. I've never played it. I played.
And that's
Crazy
the one
Taxi
title that's going to save it all. You guys realize that, right? That's the one title. I mean, where you have these crazy explosions, map like changing, really fast paced, like racing and stuff like that. Everything else you could just throw away, in my opinion. But split second, and then the achievements are actually decals on your car, which is awesome because
that's nice.
as you get the achievements, you get to decorate your, like, it just automatically goes on your car with a new logo and stuff like that. So that looks really cool. I played it on the 360. When I saw it was going back compat, I didn't know what the games with gold were. But as soon as you read off that list, the only one that jumped off to me was split second, man.
Yeah, I think Assassin's Creed Chronicles India could be a gem as well. I played the one I believe is in China, a little bit of that, and that one wasn't bad either. I think those are always good gold games to get.
Yeah, China was one of the gold games with gold here last year, so they got 2 out of the 3 Chronicles so far free. So
so those are always good
never
games.
bought them.
It's a month.
I'm sure the third one will come. It's just a matter of time. I mean, games with gold in the past has been kind of hit or miss, but I think for the most part, when they do have their pretty big games on there, it's like it's really spectacular because it's usually a game that either not everybody's played, or it's a game that I played that I don't have anymore, or whatever, because I went all digital. So it's always a good time with games with gold.
Yeah, so February is pretty good. All right, moving on. So the Xbox exclusives are now going to be coming to Day Pass day 1 of the game's release, and it's also been announced that they'll be staying on Game Pass after release. They're not going to be taken out. So what do you guys think about this? Some people, there's kind of 2 sides of the fence. Some people think, it's great value. Some people think it's...
hold on, what happened? What?
Oh, you didn't hear about?
No, I swear I was watching like IGN, GameSpot, and they never really told me anything. Oh, you mean the videos that came out like 24 hours after? All right, now I'm catching it. I know exactly what you're talking about. All right.
Well, here's the thing, that the Xbox exclusives coming to Game Pass. It's a good thing. It's a smart thing. Because Xbox really needs to push the Game Pass, and it goes to show you that it is actually probably doing really well. But I think this is going to push it even further. It's going to make it more lucrative, and people are going to want to actually probably get it because of the fact that you can play all the exclusives on Game Pass. It could also be a bad thing because it might not warrant people to want to go out and buy the game. Instead, they'll probably just get Game Pass, play it for a month, and then get rid of it. It's gonna be a really how this is gonna go.
Especially now that the games are staying, you won't have to buy the game. So, some people think that this is too much of Xbox going towards games as a service, and there may not even be a reason to buy an Xbox down the line because you'll just have Games Pass. Are any of you guys on that side of thinking or not?
Yeah, I'm very on that side of thinking. People aren't gonna probably buy a lot of these games because they're all going to Game Pass or whatever, or whatever was over there. I think if Microsoft is successful with this, then PlayStation will probably do the same thing with their PlayStation Now service. They probably will, dude. I'm telling you, if Microsoft does
just like you can change your gamer tag over there, right?
Well, yeah. But I mean,
that's coming right before this happens. So
it's coming right before it snows in hell, basically.
Well, they hinted in the past about that, about changing your gamer tag over there in PlayStation. So
yeah, because they never hint stuff and then don't do it anyway, right? No, I'm interested to hear what Vogel has to say because this is awesome. I wanted to really be, because this is Vogel's like first podcast that he's on. I am in party chats with him all the time, and I know he's a really opinionated gamer. I want to hear what he has to say, actually.
Yeah, well, I was reading this article talking about this, and the thing what they were talking about is how Netflix, because they're going with the Netflix model, and their Netflix has always got new content and stuff that only exclusively for Netflix. Can't get it anywhere else. So this got me thinking, wait a minute. what happens if Microsoft is thinking the same thing? What happens if they start putting their games only on Game Pass, and you only can play them if you have Game Pass, and you can't buy them outside of Game Pass?
And they're going to do that too. Phil Spencer has already said he would love to get that exclusive content on there. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's $10 a month. Like again, I am not Mr. Negative like some people are on this panel, man. This is great.
I'm just bringing up points, I'm not being negative. I'm saying what people's thoughts are, and let's talk about what people think. I haven't actually explicitly said my thoughts.
No, I got you. I was talking
exactly
about
where I feel.
Otter pretty much, man. Like,
why are you always on Otter, man? Come on,
dude. What I was trying to say is it could go either way, man. It could go good or it could go really bad. I mean, it just depends because if they're not making really that much money off of these exclusives, what is going to happen to the developers? Because if everybody's buying Game Pass, everybody's getting Game Pass. They're not buying these games at $60. What's going to happen then? It's gonna ruin that.
You know what's going to happen? You want to know what's going to happen? So many people are going to buy the subscription service for $10 a month. You got
It's not enough.
Hold on.
It's not enough
How do you know
money.
it's not? This is. Hold on.
Is that all that money? All that money's gonna. All that money's gonna go. All that money's gonna go to Microsoft and Xbox, dude. None of that money's gonna go to the developers. I'm telling you right now.
Hold on. Whose developers are they?
Dude, I went to business school, okay?
Whose developers are they first party? Are they Microsoft Xbox employees? Is that who they are? Is that who they are? Is that what first party means?
This model is no different from your Netflix model. Is no different from your Spotify model or whatever, or iTunes. If a publisher puts their game on Game Pass, and we shouldn't even be talking about Microsoft because that's first party. That's all their stuff.
Exactly.
But if any publisher puts their game on Game Pass, then I'm pretty sure they'll get paid based upon how you play their game. Just like an artist gets paid just by the way you play their music on whatever service it is. That's how they'll get paid. But we shouldn't even be talking about. We shouldn't even be talking about first party because that's all Microsoft anyway.
But the reason to talk about first party is, do you think that it disvalues exclusives too much? Because now there's no reason to buy exclusives. You can only just buy Games Pass.
There's going to be some cannibalization going on. Man, couldn't get that out.
I brought bad grammar into the show, by the way. My apologies.
But that's going to happen. But I think down the road, this model is going to be better for Microsoft in the end, because you can now go to Phil can now go to Nadella and say, hey, look, we're trying to follow the same model that Netflix is following. So in order for us to do that, we have to have more money for more content, because the content is going to keep people subscribing to Game Pass. So I think you're probably going to wind up getting more games in Game Pass than you would if we didn't have a Game Pass. Because especially in the beginning, because they know they need to keep the new content coming so that people will stay on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and possibly, they'll be able to pump out more games this way. I think personally, I don't know exactly what's going to come of the situation, but, this is Microsoft thinking ahead where their product is going to go, and, that's probably just a subscription. And so that they're leading towards some grander idea, that's down the line of whatever they picture Xbox and Microsoft being.
Yeah, you got to think too. How many subscription services have you signed up for, right? And just forgot about the shit. And you still paying your money. You know what I'm
but that's
saying?
the problem.
You're
going to get a subscription overkill. I mean, if you want to watch Star Trek, you got to go on CBS. If you want to watch some of these other shows, you got to go on Freeform. I mean, once you get too many subscriptions, people are going to stop spending money on this. I mean, the Netflix model, they're in debt $20 billion. They're not making money over there. I don't think that this Microsoft Game Pass thing is really good for the industry as a whole. I don't think they're going to be able to make money. They're going to have to change everything. I just don't see it really working out. I think that they're being short-sighted on this, and they're just I don't think it's gonna work out too well. I'm not the same as Dark Optimus here.
They might increase
and the prices are going to go up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised in the next couple of years that it goes up to $14.99 or $19.99. You know, I say you have more games on there.
Honestly, I can see it going to like $30, man. For games.
I mean, Netflix started at like $6, and now it's up to 11 or whatever the hell it is.
They announced that they're going to be raising prices again. I think this year or next year.
We live in a world now where you got subscriptions for everything, just like you said, Leo. You got HBO subscription, you got Star subscription, you got all kind of subscriptions. That's the world we're in right now. So they're just basically following the mold that's already out there.
Baines is hitting the nail right on the head right now. I mean, good thing Xbox is selling hardware that will have all your subscriptions in one. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, guys, I've been saying this for about 2 years. At the end of the day, PlayStation and Xbox, they want to do subscription services. They actually they want you to stream games, guys. That's what they want you to do. Now, I know I'm going to hear it. I'm going to hear it from somebody in the panel. Well, that's never going to happen. Well, guess what? 2 years ago, you never thought this would happen either. And it's happening. So
Bill's already been quoted as saying that they were working on a streaming service.
Exactly.
But it wasn't
it's not ready
properly.
It's not ready.
They're waiting to bring it out later. So they are coming with a streaming service.
I think everybody here knows that the subscription process is coming. It's just a matter of whether people like it or not, and whether it's gonna benefit gamers or not, and whether it's gonna benefit Microsoft or not. But
I just think, like I said, in the beginning, it will benefit gamers because, like I said, they're gonna have to keep content rolling in the service in order for people to stay subscribed. So in the beginning, yes, but we'll have to see, far further out than that. But I think they're using this as a conduit to Nadella and saying, hey, we need the money to put out more games because we need to keep people interested in this service. And the only way we can do that is to keep the content coming. So I think in the beginning, you'll have more content than you are used to now.
Yo, Baines, I think you're in the right ballpark here. A couple of years back, when Xbox decided they weren't going to share numbers anymore, everybody thought it was because, oh my goodness, they're losing that quote unquote console war and everything like that. But that's not what they're doing. They're going to the shareholders and they're showing them an active user base in terms of what's going on with Xbox, selling them services, stuff like that. And that's what they're going to go back to the shareholders with now. They're going to show the bump in Game Pass, what's going on with Game Pass. At the end of the day, the traditional way of making money with video games, in this terms, it's over. You guys got to, for people who are thinking traditionally now, you got to think out of the box. This is about services now, right? This is where these companies are headed towards. This is where they want to get that foothold and get a notch in before its competitor, right? And what Sony's going to do is they're going to put more PS4 games in PS Now. They tried to leap ahead and tried to do streaming right off the bat. I think Xbox did really good with what they have with Game Pass and with you having the ability to download the game so you don't have to deal with that lag right now. Eventually, they will get the streaming service kind of put in place, and then they will try to migrate people there. But as for now, this is a great deal. This is a great deal for gamers. Xbox they're gonna make their shareholders very happy. They're gonna be smiling. Everybody's winning right now. So, in terms of,
I don't think the future of gaming is winning here with this because I see that this Game Pass is $10. A regular game costs $60. If I buy all three games, I'm spending, $120, $130, $140. Okay.
All three is $180. What are you talking about, man?
Okay, so I was a little lowballing your shit for the argument, but okay, $180. Okay, so now they got to make up this money somewhere else. How do companies these days make up money? They throw loot boxes in there. They throw microtransactions in there, and that's bad for the future of gaming right there. And that's what I see when I hear it.
Well, loot boxes are cutting the cost.
But this is first party, man. You can't think about that. You can't think about developers
somehow, man.
They're getting paid by the company who has the hardware, man.
If it's first party,
people are spending less money on the games by getting the pass than by getting the game.
But they still have a job and they're still getting a
job.
Where do they get that money
guys.
from?
Hey, well, listen to this. Think about this. Okay, not everybody that's an Xbox owner is going to buy every Xbox game. If they put in all the first-party Xbox games in the Game Pass, you're going to subscribe to Game Pass, no matter if you want the game or not, because there's a whole many other games in there. So, however many Xbox, live subscribers there are, say there's 20 million. Okay, if say Sea of Thieves, say that's going to only sell 10 million. Well, if all 20 million Xbox Live users have Game Pass, they're getting all of them, 20 million times $10 a month for a year versus, $60 per copy for 10 million.
For a fraction of the users.
Yeah. So
exactly.
In the long run, this is going to be a lot more money. They're getting steady income instead of waiting for a long return in the end.
That is.
I don't think so. If 2 million people are going to buy the game for $60 rather than $10 a month, where do they going to make up that extra money? If a game costs, more and more money every single year, it just seems like there's a big disparity between how much money a game needs to make compared to how much they're going to get.
Well, there's going to be more people get Game Pass than there is going to be people buying the game.
And that's how I would counter you too, because
that's a big assumption.
Just think about how many of Xbox games sold like a few million this generation.
Halo 5 was number
Halo
one.
5,
number
years, and then what else?
What else?
What else sold millions? You know what I'm saying? Especially out of the gate, like the first. Let's even give it the first 6 months. What else sold millions?
And it's not even the fact that they weren't quality games either.
Call of Duty, GTA. I mean, what do you mean?
Well,
those are all third party.
Yeah, first party games.
First party, where they're making, Microsoft and Xbox is making the games. They're developers that get a Microsoft paycheck every week.
Zelda,
those are the people making those games.
Uncharted.
Yeah, but we're talking about first party.
Uncharted,
I think that
not Xbox, because this doesn't have anything to do with PlayStation. This is all about Xbox.
I mean, we're talking in generals. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I think we just spent like 45 minutes on this.
Vogel brings up a good
topic.
Yeah, I think Vogel brings up a good point about them having steady income, but we are going to be disputed here. So we'll go ahead and move on to Fable. One of the creators shared his ideas about a potential Fable storyline. He thought kind of a prequel to the original games where Avalon would be of a more primitive time. The magic would be more tuned to nature, and the combat would be more brutal. So what would you guys what would you guys want to have in a Fable game? Maybe if you played past Fables and are a fan.
I mean, my favorite is 2 by a mile. Fable 2, I think, is personally the best. I think Fable 3 went too far, and I think Fable 1 didn't go far enough. So I think 2 was perfect. But we got between Fable 1 and Fable 2, there's 500 years of lore missing. I think there's a good place to bring a new game, maybe a reboot or whatever. Bring back the kind of Age of Heroes, and we can still have all the kind of steampunky stuff, but not to go too far like 3 goes, and just kind of take 1 along the path that it was heading, and keep with the Guild of Heroes and that kind of cool stuff. I think that's a good place to start.
A reboot, definitely. And I believe the person who said all this stuff was Peter Molyneux, and I gotta tell him, yo, dude, your time has passed. All right, Fable is moving on to another development team and stuff like that. I know you want to go back to the security of Microsoft, Xbox, giving you that paycheck for a first party game, but calm down, brother man. You are looking through the window of the store. You're not inside right now. Reboot, definitely. I don't know about going all the way further back into a prequel. Just kind of reboot everything, go back to the essence of magic and swords, and hang in that space for a while. Because my biggest gripe with the franchise was that they moved forward in time way too fast, man. Like the Fable 3, you can beat the whole game using nothing but guns, and I was like, man, no, that's not Fable at all.
Yeah, a lot of complaints from. I've never actually played a Fable game, but I know a lot of complaints from fans are that they progressively, used less magic and such, and the game just didn't have the same appeal that it did in the first one. So
Yo, Remix, if I could just add, if Playground is truly making this Fable, one thing I would ask them to do, kind of like what they did with Horizon, in terms of letting people, give them the ability to seamlessly going to a living world, like they did in Horizon, where, you know, all of a sudden you can start cruising around the entire world with your friends and stuff like that. Now, if they can implement that feature into Fable, where you can go ahead and do your single player experience, you can even go co-op, but have that space where everybody can come together and kind of have like a living world situation where you can go off and you could fight monsters in like groups of 8 or 10 or 12 and kind of go nuts that way. I would love to see them kind of put that into this Fable reboot as well.
Yeah, that'd be a really cool idea. Any other thoughts on Fable, guys?
I'm just hoping for something that kind of encompasses the whole, you know, just give me like just start over basically and kind of, you know, give a holistic view of the lore in Fable. You know what I'm saying? Like a remake, a reboot, like Bot said, because I haven't played any of the Fables. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It'd be cool too if they took the assets from Fable Legends and maybe tacked on a multiplayer and using Fable Legends. Just have that as a multiplayer. They already have it ready. Most people said it was ready. Most people who were in that alpha, whatever it is, said the game was basically ready.
That game was gorgeous too, by the way.
Yeah, so they have a multiplayer right there.
For a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was really pretty. I was mad when I heard it was canceled because I was kind of looking forward to it.
My wife too. My wife was so pissed. Yeah,
that gives more longevity to the game. So
yeah, definitely. I know a lot of people ended up being fans, especially towards the latter half of that project. So moving on, God of War has been given an official release date of April 20th. So that's exciting. And we got a new trailer to go along with the news. So what do you guys think of the trailer? And yeah, that's about it.
Man, I enjoyed the trailer. I'm looking forward to the game.
Yeah, the trailer looked good. I mean, I've never played any God of War, but you know, it looks really good, and it's got me interested. You know, to see the whole storyline of, you know, him and his son, and you know, because in the part of the trailer they showed a part where the one girl asked him if he, you know, oh, you haven't told him, you know, so his son does have no idea who his dad is, what his dad is, or what he is. So it'd be kind of interesting to see what happens when he finds out and how the son's response will be, you know, to the news that, you know, he finds out that he's basically immortal.
Right.
Yeah, I think it adds a lot more kind of dynamic to what the story is going to be. That the son, you know, is probably has this rage and anger as well, and and some people, you know, were a little afraid, like, we got to deal like with this little kid and stuff. But I think this brings, you know, a really good purpose beyond just, you know.
In the trailer, they kind of gave you a little bit of the story, like he's keeping from his son that he is immortal. You know what I'm saying? Because the lady was telling him, you got to tell him at some point, you know, basically. So that adds a little intrigue for me, you know, to the game. And the I mean, some of the developers were coming out and saying during, I think it was during this 100 questions about God of War or something. I think it was in a Game Informer or something like that. But anyway, they were saying that the son's not going to be obnoxious. Basically, you know, he's going to be a tag along, but he's not going to get in your way or, you know, just get on your nerves. So that's cool too. So I mean, April 20th is a decent drop date also. So.
Yeah. And one of the things I noticed in the kind of in the trailer, kind of gives you a little perspective of you know, the whole relationship between Kratos and his son is like there was a scene there where he was trying to kill somebody. He said he was going to kill him, and he goes, "No, you cannot kill a god." And he goes, "Why? Why can't I? How do you know?" And you know, it just goes back to the whole thing that his son has no idea about anything, you know, about.
Narrative tension, man.
Yeah, so I mean, just some little bits there kind of really intrigued me, and you know, I'm really interested to see how they play that whole story out and how that's going to end up. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, me too.
You know, guys, I'm interested in this. At first, when I heard like you can't jump and everything, because the only God of War I ever played before this was number 3, the remastered version on the PS4, and I'm kind of thankful for that now, because I know there's a lot of like hardcore God of War people that are kind of pissed off right now, but I didn't invest like a lot of my, I guess you could say, gamer life to God of War. Like I said, I only played 3 remastered, and so I can go in there a little bit fresher, not as like cemented into that hack and slash that people got used to. And this story, one thing I didn't hear from the panel, the environments, there seems to be a lot of different environments in this game, which I was kind of concerned about, because you can only do so much when you're talking about like Northern Europe and stuff like that. But there seems to be a lot, like you flip over into the spiritual realm, and there's a lot of like really good looking environments that you're going to end up going to in this game. I'm excited. I'm kind of I'm a little nervous about not being able to jump, because that's how I really got into God of War 3. I started my combos jumping into people, but other than that, man, I'm excited. Like I feel like I have kind of like fresher eyes, that I can accept things a little bit more, because I didn't go through like the first God of War 1 through Ascension. So like I don't know. I'm excited about it. My main PlayStation exclusive that I'm praying drops this year, and I think the one that will outshine them all is Spider-Man. So until I get a Spider-Man date, I'm still going to be walking the line with my PS4.
Which is interesting because they're dropping God of War in April, so you gotta kind of wonder, is Spider-Man going to be that summer release for them?
Holiday, man, do it in the holiday.
They're not going to put Spider-Man in the holiday.
It would so fun, man. I don't.
That's PlayStation's MO though. They don't.
Yeah, why is it fashionable for them to ignore the holiday when the consumers have like their credit cards and everything? Like they're going out like they're playing poker. They have 5 credit cards in one hand, 5 credit cards in the other. Like
because they don't have competition in the spring months.
Exactly.
Well, more and more competition is moving over, but for the most part, they haven't had any competition.
They do release in the fall. I mean, in the heat of the holiday, but it's usually titles that most people don't really care about that much. You got your Nat during the holiday, you got your Gran Turismo during the holiday. They knew Gran Turismo wasn't that good. That's why they put it out then.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying? So, but they're big titles that they really think are gonna move consoles. They're gonna put them where there won't be much competition, and that's in. I think Spider-Man will probably drop in the summer.
It's funny because like we talked about the Xbox exclusives when we were talking about Game Pass and how how many of them sold so many million. When you look at the number of PS4s out there, you got over 70 million, and you look at their exclusives and how they sell, and it's like, well, why are you ignoring the holiday like that then? Because I feel like they should have a bigger attach rate to their exclusives that come out, especially the big name ones. And for having so many consoles out there, their attach rate is actually really low in comparison, man.
Yeah, I know that's something you've talked on your show before. I mean, maybe it does have something to do with the time they drop it, but maybe it's just the fact of the general consumer of the PlayStation and is a more often laid back gamer, maybe not buying as many games.
I wish they could do the attach rate, because I think it's kind of skewed, because you got to think about like every generation there's one. X360 had most of the casuals. This generation, the PS4 has most of the casuals. I wish you could break it up to see, remove the casuals and then give me the attach rate based upon the hardcore gamers. I think that would be like a closer.
Guys, the wife is calling. I am gonna mute myself real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah.
Yeah, we can move on though, but I just think they need to. I wish there was a way you could do that with the attach rate. Remove the casuals and give me an attach rate based upon the hardcore gamers.
Yeah. Before we move on though, back to God of War. Leo and Optimus, you guys have any thoughts on it?
Personally, I'm not a huge fan of hack and slash games like God of War. I never really got into it. The only kind of game like that I liked was Bayonetta, just because it was super stylized, outlandish. I thought those games were really fun. And I thought God of War was not as fun in that regard, so I never really got into it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks cool. I personally don't have a PlayStation, so I won't be getting it. But it looks like a cool game.
Mm-hmm. Any thoughts from you?
I have no interest in it.
In God of War, really? Didn't you play did you play the originals or no?
Nope.
I thought you had. All right. Well, that answers that. So moving on to the last topic of the night. PlayStation is launching a Tataku figurine line of characters from games either related to PlayStation or PlayStation exclusives. So what do you guys think about them releasing these figurines?
Hey, PlayStation's trying to do it all. They got a shoe coming out, sponsored by Paul George. I mean, PlayStation's really trying to do it up. But
do you think many people are gonna pick up these figurines?
I think PlayStation saw Nintendo making money hand over fist with fucking amiibos, and they're like, "Well, I need some of that."
Oh yeah,
I need some of that free ass money. There's collectors in every fandom. You know what I mean? Nintendo is really big on nostalgia, so they're pretty big into the amiibos. And people buy them; they never use them. They just have them. I mean,
a lot of people. A lot of people collect them, and they didn't even have any game system or anything for them. Definitely. They just wanted the figures for a collector because they knew, and especially some of them that they didn't have a lot of were, worth a lot of money right from the start. So there's like a gold Mario or something that they didn't have very many of. And I used to work at Walmart when that came out, and I think we had, a handful, and that's all we got. And they sold within the first 2 days. They were gone. People found they were there, and we only put a couple out at a time because we didn't want people trying to steal them. And we kept an eye on them because there was a hot item. And certain amiibos would disappear as soon as we put them out on the shelf. They'd be gone within that day or the next day.
Nice.
Yeah, I think what they're doing is it's pretty smart because it's figurines that people of games people like playing. So it's a good thing, but if they don't really have any value to it, it's just basically just a statue. It's kind of like okay.
Yeah, everybody likes buying toys of their favorite games. So what are you gonna say?
It's gonna sell based on just collectors, but it's not gonna go anywhere near Nintendo because people buy them amiibos because the collectors, but a lot of people buy them because they give you stuff in game and they help you in game, and they're like a feature of a lot of games. So if PlayStation has nothing like that attached to it, they're just kind of like collector's items that some people will buy, but I don't think they're gonna make too many of them because I don't think they're gonna sell anywhere near the way they hope they're gonna sell.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, any wrapping up thoughts, guys? Anything else from the week?
No, man.
Anybody play
right.
the Sea of Thieves beta?
What were you saying, Baines?
Anybody play the Sea of Thieves beta?
Oh
no,
yeah,
I was going to last night, but I didn't even get the chance.
Yeah, me and Bot did yesterday during Mel's stream. The first 2 hours we played, and then Mr. Boomstick he hopped in there for a little bit and played, and it was fun because one person was on the helm, then you had someone moving the sails. You had two people, someone on the front or up the crow's nest watching, make sure that we don't run into any islands or rocks. And of course, sometimes that didn't always work. How about? All right, he's gone. But yeah, there was one time I was driving and something happened and I had it cranked all the way to the left and we kept going straight for some reason and right in the island. But yeah,
nice.
And another thing, anybody that plays it, you get close to the edge of the map, when you're looking at the main map on the boat, make sure you turn and don't go off the map because you will have to basically respawn because your boat will get sunk and it's not good.
Yeah, but the graphics on it when you do, because we did.
Oh,
we actually,
yeah, that was pretty cool.
How everything turns red. It looks like you're in like a not
blood.
Yeah, it looks like a sea of blood. Like it looks so sick. I'm gonna do that when I get off of here and kind of tack that onto my gameplay for Saturday. Because
if you're getting on, I'll hop on with you.
Oh, nice.
Guys, just let me know anytime, buddy.
Beautiful, guys. Can can I do a quick public service announcement if you don't mind?
Sure.
Go ahead.
All right, guys. Anybody who follows Oh Snap It's Mel on Twitter, it's at Girls Can Game 22. She is having a really bad day, a really bad night at work. So if you can just like show her some love on Twitter and let her know, like, you know, it's gonna get better. Like, I'm talking like her juice for her vape exploded, and like it's on her hoodie for her job and all that. So she has to wear a hoodie, but there's like this big stain on it. Now she got another parking ticket for no reason. Like, she paid all night long, but for some rhyme or reason, she still got a ticket. She's just having a really bad night. So if people can go out on Twitter at Girls Can Game 22 and just kind of give her some love, let her know it's going to get better, I would appreciate it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, definitely go over there. Stay out of Mel. Mel's awesome. So.
Oh yeah, anytime. Yeah, I'm gonna do that as soon as I get off here. I you know, that's the thing. You know, like I was telling you guys earlier. You know, I've been jumping on, you know, on the party with Mel, you know, on the live stream and stuff, and you know, and like I said, I've listened to a lot of you guys for months and stuff, and I've told Bot and them last night. You know, I feel like I know you guys pretty well, but not a lot of people know me. Some you may, if you watch Mr. Boomstick's community spotlight video with me in it, you learn a little bit about me and a little bit of gaming history I have. But you know, that's one of the things that I want to start playing with. You know, I don't mind playing with anybody. It's as long as you don't get serious and get, you know, too into it. I'm serious. I'm competitive too, but if there's a line there, you know, so that's one thing that, you know, I just like to have fun and, you know, have a seriousness and, you know, try to.
I was thinking he definitely, if he wants people that are gonna crack jokes and stuff like that while we're playing like PUBG, he came to the right place.
Yeah, it was funny because we were talking last night and I was saying stuff and I told him, I said, yeah, if you got me and Noof together, it probably would be pretty hilarious because, you know, I can say, you know, stuff like he does, but he's good at, you know, with analogy stuff, and I'm more of a straightforward, just say it right out.
Yeah, it's a funny guy as well.
Yeah, it's like there was something was said, and I was gonna say something, and Bot's like, was he gonna say something flute? And I'm like, yep.
Yep. Yeah. Our parties get crazy, yeah.
So going back, I know Bot that Sea of Thieves is a pickup for you, but what about Vogel? Was it already a pickup, or has the beta convinced you so far? Or,
I had a pre-order since December 18th, so I was gonna get it. You know, I was really interested. After last night, playing the beta and stuff, and seeing, you know, with other people, because I've only been, you know, doing it by myself. It's got me more interested, and it's a more definite. Now I'm actually buying the game, so that way, even if I don't want, or if something happens, I got to cancel Game Pass, you know, for a month or something, I still have it where I can play it, you know. So I'm still paying, you know, the $60 to get it. You know, I'm not gonna, you know, just play through Game Pass and stuff, but that way, you know, that's the one thing that I look at. It's like, well, it's nice you can pay, you know, have it in Game Pass, play it when you want, but weapons, you know, if I, you know, because like most people, I'm not going to be able to, might be not able to afford it every month, or, you know, pay, you know, 6 months, pay 6 months subscription, and after 6 months, it'll be like, oh crap, it's due, you know, and I don't have, you know, the money to renew it. So I'm just gonna, you know, take the $60 and get it right out front, and then that way I won't have to worry about it. But yeah, it's after last night and playing the beta with some people, it's definitely a definite for me. And I think and the thing that a lot of people don't realize, they're like, oh, there's nothing to do with the betas, you know, this sucks. A lot of people aren't realizing or haven't heard. They said this is only like 20-25% of what the game is and what you'll see. So I mean, there was it was pretty big ocean and stuff, and it was, you know, we had fun. But the thing is we had a map, and we were trying to find the island that, you know, that the map
we could not find that thing.
We spent, what was it, 2 hours? We were going around everywhere looking for that island. We looking on the map at all the islands. We were driving around, you know, and well, but it was fun. I mean, we had a ball, and then we'd see other boats and this. Well, the Mel, that was her thing. She wanted to get in a firefight with first person she'd seen. So we're like, all right. So she started.
Smaller boat sunk us, by the way.
Yeah, it was a boat with one sail. We had a 3-sail boat, so it's the smallest boat that you can have. So it's a single person or a 2-person boat.
Sunk us.
Sunk us.
Yeah.
But
I actually oh my bad, Vogel.
Oh, I was just it just was a lot of fun, and it's just one of those games where it's gonna. I think that's gonna be the thing. Playing with your friends is, and like Bass has been talking about, one of the things that he wants to do is the factions and stuff, and be that legendary pirate. And I think once you play the full game and that's released, and everybody can see that that stuff. That's gonna reassure that this game is gonna be a game that everybody's gonna want to play, or most people, and it's gonna last a long time. I think it's gonna be a game that's gonna have some longevity or legs.
Yeah. I haven't personally played any of the game myself, even in like the pre-alpha, but I might have to hop in the beta if I find time this weekend to check it out. So
Remix, I'm not sure if he was being sarcastic there with I'm gonna buy this game, but I am there's something I'm disappointed about when it comes to the beta. And it's pretty much that it's the alpha just open to more people. I wanted to have at least go to a certain length with the 3 different factions and all. Give me more of the game since it is the beta.
Yeah, I thought that there was gonna be shown a large portion of the game in the beta as well. But
I've been playing the alpha on and off for over a year, and so I was excited for the beta because I thought they would give more. Put the Kraken in or something like that. Give me a little bit more since I've been playing it for so long, and they didn't do that. So. We're still like, on paper, the Kraken, and then we got all these factions. And another thing I would love to suggest to Craig Duncan, I think I'm actually going to do it on Twitter, is when you're not on a certain voyage, right? When you come across islands, have stuff there to explore and find. Not just that one treasure chests that you're looking for, or the certain ones that you have the contracts for, but have things in the map that are interesting, whether it's kind of like a like little side stories or something like that, or a reason to go into this cave, and even though it's not the island that you're going to, just more exploration, more reasons to explore, instead of the streamlined kind of got to go to this island because of this voyage. If they put more of that stuff in there, this game is gonna be off the chain, even better than I predicted.
There's huge potential for this game. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they can do and a lot of stuff they can add. So that's the one thing that's that's a lot of people are hyped about, because what they've talked about and stuff. Just if everything is in there and more, and then they add more, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a one of them games that's gonna last, just like GTA 5 is last for, like Dealer says, a game that won't fucking die.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, well, let's go ahead and get on into these outros, wrap up this podcast. So, Vogel, we really appreciate you coming on this, man. Exciting to have you on for your first podcast. So where can people find you on Twitter and gaming or whatever? Let them know about you.
Yeah, it's Vogelzkrieg, just like here on Twitter and Xbox Live. I don't have a PlayStation right now, but that's something I've been wanting to do. So I'm gonna, hopefully when I get income taxes, I'll be able to have the extra money to grab one of them and get a few games. So I can get that, because there's some games on there that I do want to play, and I'm a person that likes gaming, so I don't have a like I'm only going to play one specific console or thing. I do have I have only had Xbox since the Xbox One's come out, basically, or the Xbox original OG has come out, but I've been wanting to get the other system. It's just financially, it's always I don't have money for one. Well, I've already had Xbox, and I'm in that ecosystem, and it's just, carry everything over. So it just makes more sense to keep it. But yeah, I'm looking to, expand, that. So as soon as I do, I'll let everybody know on Twitter. That that hopefully I should be able to have the same gamer tag on there for my PSN.
Definitely.
So yeah, and Nintendo. If I ever get one of them and get a friend code, I'll definitely tweet that. So.
If you get a Switch, don't throw the box away. I have a feeling you'll be able to like mold it into something you can use. It is cardboard.
Speaking of that, I was gonna mention this and I forgot. I seen today on our news. I think it was either our local news on NBC or the nightly news on NBC. General Mills is now gonna have these cutouts that are put on the inside of the cereal boxes that you can cut out and make shit with. I'm serious. I seen it on the news. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Now General Mills is going to jump on the cardboard train. I was like, you got what's next? I just don't even want to think about what they're going to do next. Yeah. But yeah, that's about it. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Great having you on the show. We really appreciate you coming on.
And I want to thank you guys and thank Dark for, inviting me on. Like I told you guys earlier, I was kind of shocked and I was like, my first thought, it was, I didn't even have to think, I couldn't even type fast enough to tell them, yeah. So I was pretty excited, and, I'm looking forward to, hey, and I see Stinky Corpse has already said that, they're wanting me on Dad's Cast, and then, of course. Oh, yeah. So, that's going to be one hell of a show.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, Bot448, where can we find you? Lots of places.
Well, I try to keep it simple. You guys know I'm on multiple live shows throughout the week. I do gaming news videos on my YouTube channel, but the best way to know when I drop these things is to follow me on Twitter. It's at xbot448, and anybody out there in the chat who doesn't follow Vogelzkrieg on Twitter, you definitely should do that as well. He is the supporter of the year, self-proclaimed, but a lot of people in the community definitely agree with this. So, yeah, and guys, I have to give Quest a shout out. That's an awesome special guest that you had there. When I saw that, I was like, oh shoot! I was like, man, I want to be a part of his kind of like first kind of like podcast and stuff. So thank you for sending the link as well. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, always try and find those people that want to speak, but don't have a platform to speak on yet. So
yeah, that was one thing that was kind of hard is I didn't want to say anything until Dark announced it. I just wanted to make sure that didn't let the cat out of the bag too soon. And
yeah, dude, I remember those days, man. When you get invited to a show, like I remember the first time I was on Crossfire. It's like, Mooch, can I share this on Twitter yet, or are you sure you want me to come on? Because I don't want to share it on Twitter, and then all of a sudden you change your mind,
Yeah, but yeah, so
all right. Yeah, and then on into the outros for the typical. Sorry, guys. Sorry, it's for the typical panel. Leo, man, where can we find you?
Yukon Corns on Twitter. I'm talking shit on there, running my mouth about everything that I shouldn't be running my mouth about, and maybe one or two things I should be. And I'm Yukon Cornelius on Xbox, chasing Chivos 24/7, trying for that 100K this year. So, good show. Good having you guys on here.
Always pushing. Yeah, definitely. All right, Baines, man, where can we find you?
That's
if Baines ever shows up.
That's awesome.
Odimus.
I see his
all right.
Yeah, we'll move on to Odimus, man. Where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Xbox Live at Dark Odimus. Vogel, thanks for coming on, man. Absolutely appreciate you saying yes to coming on.
Well, of course, always. And anytime you want me back on, just let me know.
All right, now let me get mine done. Appreciate and Bangs99, PlayStation, Xbox, and Twitter. And special shout out to Vogues. I know this is his first show. We appreciate you coming through, man. You did a great job. And always,
Thanks,
a shout out to Bot for coming through. So yeah, that's it.
You guys are gonna get tired of me. I swear. I think it's coming.
I'm already tired of you. What are you talking about?
I know, Bo. Yeah.
And as for myself, Remix Essence across the board, people, Xbox, Twitter, wherever. So hit me up and we'll maybe game. I've had to change that because I can't game. But anyways, we out, people. Thanks for coming out and watching the show.
Night, everyone.